Listener discretion is advised. It's time for another Steel Revolution podcast.
Playing Steel Revolution's podcast.
Please keep in mind that the opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the individuals, and they do not reflect any official view of the United Steelworkers, USW Local 105, or its officers or sub-board members for officers.
Hello.
Hey, Sean.
Roy? Lee?
Leroy. You got it in again today. Look at you.
It's nice.
What's going on?
I just want to say, every time I hear that, listening to Steel Revolution that you did, like off of Surrey, I appreciate it even more.
Have you used Surrey to ask?
Nope. Sure
Maybe,
haven't.
Maybe you should.
Probably should.
Yeah.
Well, and any of the listeners can do that.
Yes. Yeah. I do.
And Alexa, too, at home, right?
I don't do Alexa. Well, you don't. Yeah, I don't use Alexa, that is. No.
Okay. I think we knew what you were talking
Okay.
about.
Yeah, I mean, it made it a little weird that you had to clarify that.
Well, look at my audience here. You two.
It's true.
Well, hello, listeners, and welcome to Steel Revolution 139. I think I got it right this time.
139.
I'm Roy Hutt.
Sean Geisens.
Lee Schaefer.
Hey, what day of the week is it?
Friday.
Oh, God. Here we go.
It's Friday, gotta get down on Friday.
Here you go, Lee.
Everybody's looking forward
Yeah.
to the weekend.
West End. West End.
Wow.
Made that
Is
up.
that what it... Does she really say West End?
No, that's...
I think she said getting down.
On the West End.
Which, no, I say that.
Yeah, it's the east side of town.
Yes.
Driving on the highway.
Come on, Lee.
First of all, don't say you just made that up. That sounded rehearsed.
No, I'm that good.
Okay. You practiced that in front of the mirror a couple
No,
times.
no, I don't do that.
Okay.
Why would you practice in front of a mirror for radio?
That's the way Sean is.
No.
I'm just saying.
Well,
Sure, he's folding towels and just saying in front,
In front of a mirror.
Yeah.
When do you fold clothes in front of a mirror?
I don't.
Do you fold clothes at all at home?
But I was not
Lee, just...
in that profession.
Well, then how can you speak for that, then?
Just from what you've told me.
I don't tell you nothing.
Okay.
You dig at it. Try.
Oh, we're without... is Pat really a member
No.
of the show?
No.
More of a guest, isn't he? Sometimes a guest.
Or a gimmick.
So, without him and without Mike
And
and
apparently I'm the princess, Mike Nicholas.
without the princess. And we got lots of people very concerned about not having Mike.
Bruce, could you come in here for a second, please?
Reminds me of this.
That was going to be a great track. Guys, what's the deal? Are you sure that was sounding okay? I'll be honest, fellas, it was sounding great, but I could have used a little more cowbell.
I just picture people out there saying, "I could use a little more Mike." I know I didn't see it coming.
Welcome back, Princess.
We got to use that when he gets back.
Yeah,
Poor
I mean,
guy.
there's some people that's going to be upset today. Legit.
yeah.
Do you know the Muffin Man?
No, we don't.
Man?
The Muffin Man.
Yes, I know the Muffin Man.
Yeah. I mean, they're
I heard somebody call up and ask for this guy.
You're a monster.
No, he's not here right now.
yeah. There's some people
Yeah.
really upset. Said they needed him.
Yeah.
We need Mike back.
I don't know what it is.
I don't know.
His charisma, his charm just oozes out.
Oh, yeah.
Something's oozing, but
Okay. Well then, hey, do I need to give you a heads up
on what?
on the events calendar?
Oh shoot. Hang on here. I go to the. Oh, here we go. No, that's not it, is it?
Now, Steel Revolution events calendar and news.
I gotta do your paperwork like you're thumbing through it, like you.
Straight out of Anchorman.
No teleprompters here.
Oh, thank gosh.
Thanks, Sean. I did a lot of work putting this in order, so we're not going to jump all around the calendar today, boys.
Oh, come on.
We're in order. We are professional grade today. None of that.
Oh, sorry.
None of that. So we'll start out the United Way campaign. We'll be wrapping up here on the 10th. So if you haven't filled out your form or you're hanging on to it, you're a committeeman out there, get them turned in as soon as possible. I will be making one more run next week. So we got a little bit of time, and if you run out of doohickeys, let me know. I got a little extra.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I got a few extra doohickeys.
In your pocket?
No. Well, it would fit in your pocket.
What, did people not want them, or?
No, there was a glitch in the
A glitch.
there's a glitch in the system, and
A glitch with the doohickeys, huh?
you know, we don't know if the department's got the right number.
So more of a don't hickey than.
Right.
All right. Sorry.
Okay.
But anyway, that wraps up. Thank you for those they gave either to the United Way or the charity of their choice. Lee, we got some veterans events coming up.
Yeah, so today, actually for lunch, there was some free lunch provided for veterans. They came up to the lunch table, showed their DD-214 or whatever. A lot of people have them on their license anymore. But they're also having that tonight. So for those coming in on night shift for the dinner, you can stop by there and get a free meal with proof of your DD-214 or another form of ID for that. Next week, we will be having people from the VA here. There's actually going to be 2 Veterans Service Officers here to speak about mental health and PTSD and how to get help for veterans. So Wednesday, all this information will be in the Forerunner, so if you want to look it up exactly. But Wednesday, there will be people in the cafeteria from different times. In the morning from 7 to 8, and then 3 to 4. There's going to be a pretty big, at 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock, there'll be a session that's actually going to be recorded for corporate-wide viewing. So they're kind of hoping to get a large audience there, and then they're going to have it at night as well from 5 to 6. Then on Thursday, they're going to have the same time. So they're going to have some pastries, coffee, and water will be provided. But, it's important for the last time we had this, I think there's a lot of people that didn't know exactly what services they're entitled to. So some people learn that way. So I encourage veterans to try to get up there to try to get some information, especially those that are maybe trying to go through the VA to get some benefits, but maybe getting held up for something. Last time, I believe there was a few people that got helped, actually went to another level. They were able to get them some help. So please go up there and it seems like it's something that's very worthwhile. So please go up there and take advantage of it.
Did you approve the pastries? No?
No, I wasn't even.
Will you put the pastries on the Schaefer scale? Will they be asking you at the
Probably
end
not.
of the,
I
end
don't
of
think
the
so.
meeting?
They don't know about the Schaefer scale.
Maybe they do.
Really? Maybe they do.
Go nuts.
I don't know if the VA listens to this to know about the Schaefer scale.
You never know. I never would have thought people listened and wanted to hear Mike, but it
That's
happened.
true. Very true.
Roy's got a valid point.
Yep. Very true.
So our next committee person and board meeting will be on the 14th of November. The charity bingo event is on the 16th. Be a week from Saturday.
Oh man, I should have played my bingo song.
You gotta
Remember?
Oh, yeah.
It was pretty.
Yeah.
Brought you down. You said.
Was it as
Yeah.
good as that Friday one?
Yeah, it's not as good as a Friday song, Sean. Again, the doors open at noon, and then the bingoing begins at 1.
Are you gonna
The bingoing.
Are you gonna call out some numbers?
No.
Why not?
I'm busy that day.
You're probably working overtime. No, you're probably working.
What day was that?
Saturday.
Next Saturday.
No. Yeah, I'm busy. Next Saturday and work next Saturday. Yeah.
Next time.
I mean, you know we have an
You can
agenda.
get a-
All you got to do is follow
I'm
along.
going to get a special guest.
Weston.
Caller.
No, it's Sean.
Weston Lee.
Mm.
No.
Sean would be
No.
perfect.
Lee,
No.
Lee just plays bingo. He doesn't.
Yeah, I like to win the money. I'm not going to call out numbers.
Well, if you call the numbers, you win every time.
I'm not a cheater, Sean.
Easy, Lee.
Speaking of donuts,
Easy.
speaking of donuts, business meetings will be the 19th of this month. The Arconic, the company, has decided to again do their recognition event. So December 4th, 5th, and 6th at various times. We'll get the times in the Forerunner. There's actually quite a few
Slots.
I don't know if it's a lot of slots. It's a lot of slots to help hand out.
Yeah.
So I think it's a little bit different than what the times are actually available. But look at In the Works and the Forerunner for times. But again, it's December 4th, 5th, and 6th. You can pick up a ham or turkey in the parking lot again. Or you can get a voucher for a fruit basket. I don't see Lee getting a fruit basket. But you can pick them up at the Bettendorf Fairway.
Is that supposed to mean something?
Yeah. Pastries, donuts. I don't. Did we ever put a fruit on the Schaefer scale?
I don't think we have.
This is what they call an
That's
apple.
true.
It's this apple.
Oh, what is that? You could just.
I got the 0 negative on my Schaefer scale.
Right, yeah. Why is my blood sugar going down?
You know, I think I've tasted this before, but it was in a fritter.
Or a pie, for that matter.
That's funny. Lee's the only one that. Oh, that tastes like the pie I had.
Okay.
It's fun.
Do you like a peach gobbler?
No.
No, not into peach, huh?
You know, most of us learned our fruits in school.
Leads. Oh, I didn't know I was supposed to do that one.
I don't know. I just
Okay.
kind of thought it was a good segue, but then it went nowhere.
Yeah.
So the reminder: the Nathaniel Payne scholarships are due the 6th of December. So get them in for your student starting college that hopefully had their fruits and vegetables by now.
Maybe they like chili.
Yeah, I mean, you put some vegetables in chili, right?
Yes.
The SOAR Chili Supper is December 6th also, from noon till 5.
Sounds delicious.
They usually have some good chili back there.
I'm going to put on a coat. Be chilly back there.
Mm-hmm. Vacation selection started October 7th. It'll be ending December 9th. So make sure you're getting your chance to pick your vacations for next year. And if somebody's holding you up, make sure you reach out to your union rep on shift. See if we can get that moving along.
Yeah, I'll say for Inget, we have to pause ours until after Monday. We have some issues that came up with shifts and classifications they had people assigned to. So we're meeting with the company on Monday, and then after that, we should be moving forward on vacation picks.
More to come, I imagine. I mean, you're good at putting stuff out for the department.
Yeah,
You'll
I already got
communicate
it out.
when
Yeah.
you.
I already put it out there. Just want to put it on this.
Okay. On the 13th, on your check on the 13th, you will be paid out for any unused vacation or your floating holidays. But a reminder, you can still take off days for that for vacation, just as vacation no pays. Same for your floating holidays, and you can also still work your floating holidays for the difference. So. Again, that payout will be on your check on the 13th of December. Our next ARB date will be December 18th and 19th. And man, shortly after that will be Christmas.
Yep. Today we had our first Christmas basket committee meeting. We talked about how we're going to be moving forward this year. Actually, Monday, the boxes will be out at the gates, so we'll be starting taking donations for that. And we'll also have the forms out there, too, if you want to nominate someone for a Christmas basket. Just to kind of let people know, something we did talk about, we've got a lot of new hires that haven't been here very long and may not know about the Christmas basket. So we're going to try putting out more information about exactly what the Christmas basket campaign is and exactly, why we do it. It's actually was started back in the early 50s, so it's been going on for a very long time when it was Alcoa, and we just kept the tradition up here. So it's for those that, may not be able to provide a meal for themselves around the holidays, maybe going through a rough patch or some different situations. So, please nominate someone if you know a family member or a friend or family that's going through some hard times and can use a meal. But please know, too, that these Christmas baskets are fully funded by donations. So please give when you can. We will be getting out exactly how much each basket will cost this year. We're going around to some places to see where we can get the best price. So more to come on that, but yeah.
Be a good time to remind people about throwing their cans in the can barrels only.
Yeah, that's the cans go towards the money from the cans go towards the Christmas basket fund. So again, we're still somewhat having issues on trash being in those. I think it's more of an issue of the trash barrels getting dumped into the same things as the cans, because as I've walked around the plant, the ones that actually say cans and have the lid with the hole on it, those don't seem to have anything but cans in them. So everyone's doing a good job with that. So we just got to get that right, because that's a lot of money that goes towards.
That's a can-do attitude you got there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, buddy. That's how you end that. Thank you.
Actually, what I'll say too. So we do have dates, and it'll be on once you get people nominated. We'll get the letters out there. The dates are we're going to be packing the baskets this year on December 19th. That's a Thursday, and again, that's open to everybody to come on over and help pack the baskets. And then the basket pickup will be on Friday, December 20th. So, yeah, look forward to seeing everyone. Hopefully people can help out and make this successful.
Yeah, thanks, Lee. I'll go back on some stuff that we had mentioned in previous podcast, but the dates already passed. So third levels were held on October 23rd and 24th. The answers are due back December 8th. So if you had a grievance over there, hopefully we'll receive some answers by December 8th. We also had the Halloween parade, and Lee is chairman of the parade committee. How'd that go, Lee?
Went pretty well. I want to say thanks to Genaro Gomez. He helped. He has a trailer that we use, and he kind of helped build a contraption, I guess, to put on the trailer to make sure it can kind of look more like a float. So this is the first year we did that. And like anything around here, you do it the first year and you kind of build upon it and make it better every year. So, yeah, it went pretty well. I want to thank everyone that came out. It's a good time as always. Seemed like we got a good amount of kids that came and participated in the parade this time. So
yeah, it seemed like there were more kids there.
Yeah, so that was nice. And the weather was nicer too. That definitely helps.
There's a ton of people.
Yeah.
Along the parade route.
Yeah, Sean was there.
I was there.
Yeah.
It's so bad when he said there's a ton of people. I was like, what's he mean by this? I thought it was some kind of pun.
No.
It was nothing.
Just being nice.
just a nice comment, huh?
I can do that, without a smart remark.
Okay.
Or a bad pun. But I don't have bad puns or good puns.
See, that's how he throws you off right now.
I know. I'm
don't know what
confused.
to do.
Yeah, there was something in there that I missed.
I'm confused.
On October 30th and 31st, we had meetings with all the master locations, was here at Davenport, had meetings with the plant managers of each of the master locations and Diana Pereira, Vice President of Operations. And then Chris Ayers joined on the 31st. So, like I said, me and Lee will try to comment on those. We sat down, got an overview of like how business is. I want to say off the right from the beginning that nobody brought up layoffs at Lafayette
Right.
during those meetings. So it was a shock that less than a week afterwards they're announcing 100 and some laid off from Lafayette.
Shock and kind of disappointing, I'll say. You know, I would have thought maybe that would have come up during the meeting. But
Yeah.
it didn't.
Most of the other locations had issues with contracting out, and I don't blame them. Little bit different than here. Well, especially different than here. I'll say it absolutely different. You know, their general mechanics are getting topped out at 40 hours a week,
Yep.
not getting any overtime. Plus, they're contracting out. You know, at least our general mechanics are getting overtime. They
Yep.
haven't capped your hours at 40.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a different argument there when you got contracting out, but you don't have the overtime.
Yeah, it sounded definitely like we handle ours better, I'll say, than the other locations. I mean, not that ours is perfect, but I know Mike, they do walk down a lot of jobs, so that helps out. Doesn't sound like that's going on at all, those other locations, so.
Right, I'm trying to think of anything it seems like there is a bit, I would say, at that time of more of, hey, you're not really listening to what we're bringing to you for issues, you know, for help, for production or whatnot. You're not really listening. I think that was a common theme for us, that things that were different. We brought up the GM and the craft wages and, you know, reiterated to Diana and Jeff Wida that, hey, you know, we got a lot of people that are waiting. They're waiting to see if you're going to do something for them, because right now they're trying to decide whether or not it's their shift that's more important, wages more important, benefits versus, you know, going to a Monday through Friday, 8 hours a day for some other shop. You know, there's plenty of opportunity out there, trying to tell them things need to be done. So again, hopefully we'll get somewhere on that, or at least be able to tell our crafts persons, hey, this is what we got until at least next contract. So we'll be looking at that. You know, we brought up issues in departments, whether it was Ingot, IPS, plate. We do seem to be getting some movement, especially from plant manager Jeff Wida on some of our issues within the departments. So again, it's encouraging. Hopefully we can get some of these little issues behind us and we can start working on things that actually affect production and working on those issues.
Yeah, I thought all of our bargaining reps from our location spoke pretty well and brought up our issues. That was really heard. I mean, it's, you know, and it's kind of how the meeting went, is they kind of kicked off with, as Roy said, that, hey, sometimes you guys really don't, I don't know, how do you say that, you listen but you're not hearing me or whatever, you know. So that was in the beginning. So it seemed by the time it got to us, we were the last location to speak on our issues, and it felt like by the time it got to there, they knew and they actually, you know, kind of heard what we were saying. So yeah, it seems like it's going well so far. Not well, I guess I'll say, but at least there is some movement on some issues we brought up.
Yeah, it's definitely encouraging. We also brought up issues with the light and our paychecks. So I was going to bring this up later, but I'll bring it up now. You know, your last paycheck you should have seen a correction for your vacation rate would have been wrong. So you know, that was one of them. The vacation rate was wrong. You know, you're unable to really go in and adjust your federal tax withholdings on the app or on the computer. Same with direct deposit. And what was funny, or I mean, I guess not really funny, but hey, it happens to everybody within the organization, is there were people on the salary side that are pretty high up, you know, 1 or 2 under the top, like let's say HR or whatnot, that was coming up to us after we brought it up saying, oh yeah, it's a nightmare. So it's a nightmare to even them. Yeah. And I guess they're not going to go away from Alight, so we gotta just try to fix the issues we got. I mean, I can see a reason. You switch to a different company based on all of the things that are different with how we get paid with our union contract and everything that's out there. I mean, it would probably be a worse mess.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
One of those, be careful what you wish for.
Right.
Things, you know.
But I mean, I do feel like we were heard on that issue and certainly understood with it. So we'll continue to work on that. Might have to see if we can get a meeting with the Alight reps again, like we did a few years ago.
That seemed to help a lot, I think, when we did that for those issues we had. Yep.
So again, I mean, Diana Pereira was there. She seemed to listen, and that to our issues. I was unable to make it to the second day, which I know we had a healthcare meeting, and I think some of our healthcare issues was definitely getting addressed before. Mike had a lot of those he was helping members with, especially prescriptions. Lee, do you want to make any comments? I know you were there the second day when Chris Ayers was there.
Yep. So he spoke, gave a small presentation, I guess I'll say, and we definitely brought up some issues. One major thing we talked about, now at the time, Boeing was still out on strike, so that's obviously been rectified. But you know, he was even concerned after they came back from strike on what their build rate would go back to. So that is a concern. Some of that's, you know, in the government's hands too, if they've capped their build rate or what they want to let them go to. But you know, he was concerned that after the strike, it's still going to take some time for them to ramp up to what they need to be. So there could be somewhat of a lag time, you know, for us to be, you know, making the metal that we need to for Boeing. So that was discussed. Another thing that was discussed, and I don't know how much, I don't want to get into too much detail, was making sure the pension fund is funded. I want to say we have someone at the International that is very, very, very knowledgeable. There was a conversation had, I'll just say that to pretty much tell the company, hey, we're watching. You know, and some of the concern is how Apollo's been in the past with some of the things and making sure that things are funded the way they should be funded. So he's not saying there's been any red flags yet, but I think just, you know, you see a hedge fund come in and buy the company and you have these worries. So that was brought up and pretty much just told the company, hey, we're watching. You know, this isn't something you're going to be able to get by us. We're watching it and we're paying attention. So I thought that was really important. So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of what, of course, then we went into the healthcare meeting and that, you know, we brought up some issues, but they seem to get resolved, so.
Yeah, I mean, you brought up Boeing, and that affects our plant. You know, that's certainly a worry on how many orders we'll have that will affect production here. Seems like orders and that at Messina's an issue. Tennessee, there's some concern on the southern plants going in. There's aluminum Dynamics down south.
Yep.
It's either Mississippi or Arkansas for these two plants.
Yeah.
The other one's Novelis, and they're gonna be pretty much direct competition with Tennessee.
Yeah, and that was also brought up as just kind of something to be aware of, not something they were necessarily fearful or anything like that, but it's just something they need to be aware of, that we need to, you know, they had said that, hey, we need to make sure we're doing what we need to do to make this place run well so that we don't have to worry about that competition, you know, affecting us negatively. So,
right. Definitely some things to keep an eye on in the future. just the same as in the future. Our contract is up May 2026 at noon. On May 16th, our contract's up, but that is about 554 days or 81 paychecks, or not 81 paychecks, 79 paychecks away. That was from the old podcast. And if you save about $50 a week, you have just a little under $4,000, $3,950. Still enough for a couple people to go to Mexico.
Yeah. Closer
Or
it
a
gets.
bunch of donuts.
Oh, yeah. Unless you go to Hertz and your money don't go as far. But they're good donuts.
They are.
They're good, but
Sorry, professional.
Man.
I mean they're good. I mean, believe it or not, I don't go eat donuts much.
You know what, though? So I went in.
Seasonal allergies. Sorry.
I went in and was the ambassador for the Oilers for their United Way campaign, and one of the Oilers I was talking to said, "Hey, why don't you?" Well, they had the dates wrong, so a week ago Wednesday.
Yeah.
The guy's like, "Hey, are you coming in?" I'm like, "No, it's next week." He goes, "Oh, okay." He goes, "You bringing beer and donuts?" And I'm like, "Well, I can't bring you beer."
Yeah.
But I brought some donuts.
Did you?
I stopped at Quick Star. Oh. You know what new flavor they got? Pink lemonade donuts. See, that was the same reaction my wife gave, and I'm like, no, they were good.
How were they?
Oh,
Pretty
they were good.
Doesn't even sound good.
They're good.
Oh,
I feel like you. I feel like. Are they even worth putting on the scale? Maybe.
No, it doesn't sound good at all.
Maybe.
No, that's just your opinion. But I mean, you do have your own scale, so
yeah.
Who am I to say?
We're not professionals like you.
No.
I think we're just gonna have to put it on there for sure, though. You know, just to get a proper rating.
Yeah. Can't wait. Looking forward to it.
Maybe next time.
Yeah.
Were you gonna say something about contract? You know, we get a lot of donuts around contract too, Lee.
Yeah, that's where this all started.
Remember?
That's where it all started.
I've seen a picture or two.
Yeah. I hate you guys.
You were used as a marketing.
Yeah. Oh, was that what it was?
You were the face.
Marketing?
You were the face of the contract. That was 19, right? Yeah, I think that was 19. Yeah, that was 19.
Was it?
Yeah.
2019, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because we had the shack.
Oh, the taco shack.
No, Lee's with the donut shack.
Oh.
The other thing was the taco shack.
Okay. Didn't know that.
See, this is why people want Mike back.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
This right here. This is it.
I don't know. I haven't figured that out.
This
is
is
I'm lying. I haven't figured out why anyone wants Mike back. But
not a truer statement. I'm wondering if the same thing. I guess we're not for everybody, Lee.
I know. I get it.
Just like lemonade donuts are not for everybody either. So pink lemonade.
We're gonna get it next time. There's going to be
fried donut just takes really about 4 or 5 minutes, and it's essential that you have fresh, good oil. This is powdered sugar going on.
Oh,
I think it's the best donut I ever had.
Funny thing is, Mike just tried to call me.
That's not the kind of oil you're thinking of.
Calm down.
Easy, easy, Lee Diddy. Well, you know what? It's about time to retire this. But if you're thinking about retiring, you should visit and talk to our office manager, Dan. He is here Monday through Friday, 6:30 to 2:30. He's your go-to resource for your retirement questions and issues. Make sure you call before you head to the hall. Even maybe make an appointment with him. That'd be best.
I'd highly encourage that. He gets a lot of people in here asking questions. So if you want specific time with him, call him, reserve a time.
Because no doubt he'll be out delivering Forerunners. He'll go out, pick up lunch, and you'll come down to the hall.
Yep.
Donuts for Lee.
And then you'll have to talk to us. And to waste time.
Right.
Until he gets back.
Yep.
Our retirees get $175 in union merchandise.
Merch.
Your first year of SOAR dues are paid for. Make sure you get your intent to retire. Dan can help you with that. 3 full months before your retirement date for $500. Make sure you check your highest pay grade. That's what your pension's based off of, and that would be the highest pay grade in the last 10 years, and you have to have the 1,000 hours in those last 10 years. SOAR meetings are the first Thursday of every month at 1:30. They did have their officer elections, and Grieve is staying vice president.
Oh.
Bonnie's president, Grieve's
yeah.
vice president.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Sandy's the treasurer, Janice recording secretary, and I'm not sure who filled the 3 trustees.
Yeah, Brad was a VP for a long time.
Yeah, he might be stuck there for a while too.
Yeah. Too.
In other news, Lee had mentioned it prior. The Boeing strike has ended, and they ratified a new contract that saw 38% in raises over 4 years, a $12,000 bonus, profit sharing, some sort of profit sharing they got with a 4% minimum payout, 401k 100% match up to 8%. Reminder though, if I got this right, Lee, that they have frozen pensions and nobody's collecting pension service right now. Is that
correct?
Is that right?
Yeah, it got froze 2014, I want to say.
Yeah, so that's most likely the reason that is so high. Their premiums, I was digging through some of their literature online for the contract, and I did find this crazy. So premiums were lowered. So for a single, it was $51. It went to $46, and a spouse, you and just a spouse, was $102 and went to $93.06. But each year, it could go up by 10% each year of the contract. Family was at 153, went down to 139. Compared to us, with your single is 39 and your family is 55. So there's quite a bit of difference. Probably by the time they get down to the end of their contract, it'll almost be 3 times what we're paying currently. Yeah. So that would have been another reason that they most likely, like you'd mentioned, Lee, earlier when we were talking, they got the raises they got because they had to compensate for that also.
Yeah, those premiums can eat into your hourly wage, and again, ours stays the same through the contract. So.
Yep. Well, we did have some sad news this week. Actually, it was late last week. Mm-hmm. Late last week over the weekend. Former President Charlie Smith passed away. If you recall, way back to, what did we say it was, 45?
Number 45, yeah.
Number 45, we interviewed Charlie, talk about the 86 strike. I think it was in the 18, so it was prior to the 19 contract. We wanted to talk to him about that strike. So in honor of Charlie, we'll do a moment of silence here, and then we're going to play the interview that we had with him.
Back from 2018.
Okay.
All right, well, we're joined here on the podcast. We asked Charlie Smith to come on, former president here, and we want to be able to. We invited you on, Charlie, because we wanted to get some of the locals' history documented and have it preserved for people coming up in the future, so they can understand what happened here in the past and that. And so I appreciate you coming down, spending your Friday afternoon with us. And I usually start any interview out with having somebody tell us a little bit about themselves, how they got started being a labor leader like yourself.
Well, actually, I hired in with Alcoa in 1952. I graduated from high school that year and come up here, and of course, back in those days, if you could walk good, the Alcoa would hire you. Particularly if you grew up on a farm, and like I was, hey, believe it or not, I picked cotton, and it wasn't for fun. It was for livelihood. And anyway, I had no trouble getting hired in, except I had not reached my 18th birthday, and I had to wait a while. And anyway, make a long story short, I worked till I retired with them. And after I left the plant, I worked a long time with the International Union, about between 25 and 30 years with them. So I know a lot about Alcoa. I'm not sure if I knew so much, but I met a lot of their people, and an awful lot of good people too. It wasn't all bad, you know. It wasn't all good either. But we went through some real trying times, even after I became the local union president in 1962. I think I was 28 years old.
Oh, wow.
When I got elected. Yeah. And I don't, I guess that's enough from me.
Well, now, when you hired in, then it wasn't the steelworkers, was it? It was a?
No, it was the Aluminum Workers Council, and then we become an international, I believe, in 1954. Now, the Aluminum Workers International Union is wanted to organize the plant, or anyway, they call themselves, or we did, aluminum workers. And that old council was made up of Lafayette, Indiana, Messina, New York, East St. Louis, Illinois. And I believe that's about it. Maybe, in Alabama is a big, Reynolds Aluminum had a big plant there. It was much bigger than our plant. And they was part of the Aluminum Council as well. But then we become Aluminum Workers International, I believe officially in 1954. And that's about it as far as that subject. Eddie R. Stahl was our aluminum worker, the president of the council. He has also become president of the International Union. He is a great man, great leader. He was in the category with those big ones, like the miners had their big guy, and the carpenters, and Walter Reuther was head of the UAW, and Hoffa.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, we had very close connections with the Jim. Yeah, he, of course, he got kicked out, the FL-CIO,
mm-hmm.
and he asked for it. I mean, it was, he did some things he shouldn't, but I think he was a terrific leader, though. I mean, he did his job. He put the truckers on the map, put it that way. They didn't always have to sleep in the cab of their truck after they become Teamsters. They got per diem and hotel rooms paid for. There's quite a difference. But yeah, we worked with the miners quite a bit. Mine Workers Union. I'm talking about politically, and believe it or not, in my job with the International Union, I was what they call a wage engineer. I did Teamster of arbitration, or I'm talking about on wage rates.
Okay.
I did carpenters, electricians. I'm talking about other than our plant.
Okay.
It was, and like in Louisville, Kentucky, when I'd be down there, that was, Reynolds was real big. I worked in Plant 15, so, and they was all located in the Kentucky area, and mostly in Louisville. And then they got miffed some way with the city. I think it's over taxes or something. And they moved out and went their office to Richmond, Virginia. And they donated their buildings to the university. Now, Louisville, the University of Louisville.
Okay.
I think that's how they got their buildings. was from, but okay, that's about all I got on that.
Now, Sean, you had a question earlier, so I want to.
Yeah, just a question about the membership. Now, what kind of percentage was the membership to the union? Is that the right way to, I guess, ask it?
Yeah, out here at the plant, and I want to say I'm going to be wrong, but Iowa became a right-to-work state. Was that in the 50s?
They was right-to-work state when I came here.
So so it was before that then. So
Yeah.
maybe 20s then. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know the history of that one.
Got my history wrong. So Sean was wondering, even back then, what did the membership make up? What was kind of the percentage of the people in versus not in the union?
Okay, this is, you're going to think I'm boastfully bragging, but
no, brag all you want.
when I became president, our membership was very low. Particular, say, like in a hotline, it wasn't good. Really, it was some departments. If they were to call our hand on it for, like the company I'm talking about, if you had to have 50% of the people paying dues, or they could no longer honor you. We was about on that threshold, and I don't know. It wasn't anybody really talked to me a lot about it, but I got the Alabama bunch. See, there's a bunch of guys from the South come up here in the 50s. There was no work down that area. So I organized that bunch. That's how I got elected, really. Well, we kind of knew each other, or at least we could talk to one another. And we put on a organizing drive. And when we really got through, now this wasn't the first thing that happened after I come in. This getting a good organization going was 3 or 4, maybe even 5 years in the making. But we had practically 100% in every department. Like a foil mill was always 100%. I organized the 2 labs. They was always 100%. Truck repair was 100%. Almost every department was 100%. Even we had some preachers out there, I think about 3 of them, and I think they decided that, them being a preacher, maybe they shouldn't be paying union dues. Anyway, they claimed that it's against their religion or their relief or something like that. And I told them, I said, okay, that's all right, you don't have to join. Just pay your dues. We'll take cash dues from you. And that's just what we did for a while.
Put out the offering plate.
And I wanted to share that with you guys because the reason, okay, we was out about 3 months.
Okay.
And it was starting to go sour. We was I never really had a lot of complaints, but I remember as a nurse or two that was calling me and raising hell about, the situation, why aren't we working, and so on. And one of our vice presidents, his name was Ralph Crabb, was coming to my house this particular day, and I had some liquor there. And we got pretty smart, more intelligent,
Yeah.
And my wife, she got very agitated at me for drinking there. She didn't like for me to drink around the house. And me and Ralph was talking. Hell, we was talking about this strike. We was concerned. He was too. Like, I asked him to come down and we'd talk what maybe some of our strategy and what have you. And my wife come down. We was in the basement. I got a walk-in basement. It's ground level, and you could just. And she come down hollering, and I by this time I was getting more intelligent too. I told her, "Hell, lady, the problem is you." I says. She said, "What do you mean?" She had worked her tail off trying to help it all. I said, "You ought to get on that phone and call them women that's raising hell, and us, get this shut down, this bad mouthing, You know what she did? She turned around, never said a word. She went up and she got I had a book with all the executive board members. She knew every wife, all of our departmental committeemen, she knew their wives. She called every one of them, and then she got them one. They called the stewards and talked to their wife. The next day, we had about 500 or 600 people come down to the Union Hall, and I pulled a Donald Trump on them. If anything was wrong, it's because of the company.
Yeah.
It sort of went that way. And lo and behold, them women, they says, "You know what? We're going to relieve you guys the rest of the day. You've been out here approximately 3 months." And lo and behold, here, them gals goes out there, snotty-nosed kids, and next thing you knew, every TV camera in town was out there. And them women the next day, they come on their own. They took over, and you can see them crowds.
Yeah.
Every day after that, those women was out there with those kids, and we was there too. But the 5 o'clock news was always taken up by 90% of it was about the women at Alcoa. In my honest opinion, they're the one that settled that strike. If it hadn't been for the women in 1968, hey, that's when, see, I'm going to tell you a little, I don't want to say this on the record, though.
Okay.
About that, what caused the strike. I'll tell you in private, or like after we get off the record, if you wanna, if you're serious about knowing it. But it was a reason. Anyway, the cost of living was one of the things that we really thought we had to have.
Yeah.
We didn't get it. We end up on strike. Well, what the company did do, they knew just as well as I did that was what caused the whole caboodle, was that cost of living. And they had settled with the other locals. I'll put it this way, with the other unions. It wasn't the aluminum workers, it was other unions. They had settled without the cost of living. And we ended up settling the strike is, okay, you're going to get it, but we just can't, if we do it, they're going to shut us down, their plants. So we held off, and the next contract negotiations, we didn't even have to demand it. As the first thing they told us, in 3 minutes after we hit the table, says, we want you to know you got that cost of living. and it was the women, I'm going to tell you, I kind of would like to go one of these days and talk with the women of steel about it.
Yeah.
They were so effective. Hey, they had scab maintenance. Now, I'm not talking about our maintenance guys, but they was doing our maintenance guys' work when we was on strike. That stopped. Hey, the women, they brought them out there in school buses, non-union or scabs, whatever you want to call them. I don't know. I remember this one old gal. She grabbed this one maintenance. It's a big millwright, but he, like I said, now he wasn't our millwright. He was outside. And she kind of caught him in the chest. She called him what a rotten scab. Says, what in the hell are you guys doing in there? You know, I'll never forget. It was about 15 of them guys come off that bus, and this guy he comes over about as far as me to you maybe, and he says, "Buddy, I'd fight you any day, or and I wouldn't take this from you. I want you to know." But he says, "I ain't screwing with that woman." And those guys pulled off and never come back. That was the end of the outside people coming in. Now the women, hey, they done a number. And by the way, it's two of them women. They was from Alabama. It was in there. I went to school with them. They was a couple of years younger than me, but I knew their dad was our janitor at our school. That's the reason I knew them. And they married, like, both their husbands become foremen out here at the plant.
Yeah.
But they was out there every day. Their husbands wasn't foremen then. They was, it was fun as talking about it now, but it wasn't so much fun doing it. Oh, we had one thing. I almost being a horseshoe champion. We had horseshoes. The pickets, we was throwing horseshoes.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a picture of it.
Yeah, a picture of it. We need to take those pictures and archive them. That's what we need to do.
We'll take pictures and post it.
And the company asked us, says, "Don't put up a 10 out there," says that, and I couldn't help it. That just triggered it. I put the biggest on the gun.
Since you don't want a tent, guess what you're getting? You're getting a big, ugly tent out there now. So what you're saying, in 1968, the ladies were the unsung heroes.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And, I don't know if too many people are aware of that, but like the officers and, we never talked a lot about that strike, afterward. It was, we was all glad it was settled.
Now, how long were you guys? I'm sorry, go on.
No, I'm sorry. Well,
how long were you guys on strike in '68?
It was about 3 months.
3 months.
Yeah, and I will say this: the taverns in Bettendorf, every one of them brought beer out to the picket line free of charge. We had grocery stores that brought. Like in kids, after those women, it's good business for the businesses to come out and be nice. I don't know. The women saved. I think they had more to do with settling the strike in 1968 than anyone else. It was the tables was turned once the women took over on the picket line, and this year is our 50th anniversary of that strike.
Yeah.
And I hope we never have to go through another one that was as long and dreadful.
All right, back after the interview. Well, like we were talking in between, it was a great interview, and Charlie really walked us through what it was like there. But at the end, it seemed like it was a hard time.
Yeah,
it was a hard time for those guys to go through that. So again, we need to do what we can to prepare now, so it's not as hard if that would happen to happen in 26. So we will be working on getting some interviews, local banks, whatnot, between now and then. We'll start working on that, because it takes a while. If you need to switch banks to a bank that's going to be more friendly to you in case that happens, it takes some time, and it's a pain in the ass. I was pissed at Wells Fargo because they didn't want to show us any support, even though the Union Plus home mortgage was with them, and they didn't want to show us any support here. So I went to Essentra, and I know it's a pain in the ass to switch.
Yeah, I've switched a lot of my stuff to Essentra.
Yep.
But I know there's other banks that will help you out. When we've been at different conferences, there seems to be some other banks that'll do good by Union folks. So we'll get that communicated out. Maybe get some interviews here coming up in the near future.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is, we've got a little bit of time yet, but it is time to start preparing. So, to me, saving is the biggest thing. Make sure we don't know how this is going to go with Apollo, like, we kind of talked about, with the pension fund and stuff. We want to make sure everything's good, but, these hedge funds do have a history of doing things a certain way. So, just want to be prepared for whatever they throw our way, and like Roy said, you need to start asking your banks and things. Don't wait till the last minute to ask them, hey, can you help me out if there's a work stoppage or whatever. So be prepared.
Yep, that happened last time.
Yep.
Hey, Sean.
Hey, Roy.
Where can people find us?
Well, they can find us. What are you doing? Just staring at me? Lee?
It's your turn.
He likes to watch you work.
Yeah.
Probably what he does in the plant, Sean.
Hang on, let me find that.
He's probably up in the crane watching people work.
There you go.
Thanks.
Glad we waited for that.
Like the crane sound effect.
How does that go again?
I know it's flying a plane.
Oh, jeez.
If you go fast enough, it sounds like it almost. No?
I don't think it should.
Yeah.
Maybe it should. I don't know. They can find us on our Facebook page at Steel Revolution Podcast, USW Local 105. Apple Podcast app for your Apple devices, your Podcast Addict for your Android devices, the Android app, Google Play Music, iHeartRadio app, Spotify app. Follow us on YouTube, Odyssey app, Libsyn.com, Local's website, and the men's restroom here at Local 105.
Good job.
Yeah.
It's all right.
It's professional.
Yeah, it is.
He's a professional. Thanks for that,
One of
Sean.
these days, I'd just like to see you folding towels as you're saying that.
It's not going to happen.
Why?
Well, give me a donut and we can talk.
Okay.
Hey, Thanksgiving is coming
Next
up, so
one.
happy Thanksgiving to both of you and our faithful listeners out there.
I agree. Thanks, John.
Good job, Sean.
Gobble, gobble.
Yeah, holidays are coming up, so we'll have to see how many more we get in here.
You know what
Podcast.
comes up with his holidays is holiday eating and the Schaefer scale.
Yeah.
So I can't wait for that.
Oh yeah, should we have we have holiday version?
Oh yeah.
For the Schaefer scale.
Yeah.
Hey, this is November.
Fa la 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 la.
So usually it's a bigger show in December.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we're gonna have
Just
to.
a huge show.
We're gonna have to blow it out. We're gonna have to do
After
something
eat some good
special.
food, that's going to happen.
Just huge.
Blow out. So yeah.
Some would say bigly.
Can't
All
wait.
right. Well, until that one, like Sean said,
What's that?
have a good Thanksgiving
Oh, thank you. You as well, and everybody else. And say something good about your union.
every day.
Later.
Steel Revolution.